guys, it's Miss Simpson, and it is time for math today. So let's take a look at our math chart. And we have been working on the customary system. Yes, not yesterday. Tuesday we did length. Yesterday we did volume and capacity. And today we're going to do weight and mass. Remember, next week we're going to focus on metric system, but this week we're focusing on the customary. And the customary system is what we use in the United States. So let's talk about each unit of that we can use for weight. And this is something you should be familiar with. So we have the 1 ton, and when I think of a ton, I think it's the weight of a small car. A ton would be like the weight of a small car. Something else that you would weigh a ton, a whale. Think of a whale. It doesn't weigh 1 ton. It weighs lots and lots and lots of tons. But that is something that I think about when I think of tons. Something very, very, very big, because a ton is 2,000 pounds. 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. Crazy, right? Because when we think of pounds, we think of a human, right? We weigh ourselves in pounds. Like, I'm sure you've seen your parents hop on a scale, or when you go to the doctor's office, they tell you to hop on a scale and they weigh you. And they measure you or weigh you in pounds. So imagine 2,000 pounds is 1 ton. A lot of little kids are like, I don't know, 50-ish pounds. And so that would be crazy. That's like several little kids. That's like hundreds of little kids, right? Okay, and so then if we have 1 pound, 1 pound of, sometimes, most of the time you buy meat in a grocery store, like hamburger meat, you buy hamburger meat in a pound. So a pound of grocery meat hamburger meat is 16 ounces. And ounces, remember, is like a handful of pretzels. And that's about an ounce, like a handful of pretzels. So that's how, and weight and mass, that's how we get from biggest to smallest. Ton, pound, then ounce. And we are weighed in pounds. So we in weight, when we're measuring things or we're weighing things, we can use something called a spring scale. We can use a kitchen scale. Have you ever seen your parents like weigh things on a kitchen scale, like their food? Maybe a bathroom scale. A lot of people, adults, use bathroom scales, and even bathroom scales for like the doctor, they use scales. So let's take a look at some examples. Like, I want to know, what would I use to measure, to weigh some of these items? So look at these. Remember, it's going to be tons, ounces, or pounds. An elephant. Think about it for a second. An elephant is humongous. So am I going to use, remember, tons is the biggest, then pounds, then ounces. Am I going to use 2 tons, 200 pounds, 2,000 ounces, or 20 pounds? I hope you said 2 tons. I mean, come on, an elephant? Elephants are huge. What about a picnic basket? Do you think it's 3 pounds, 1 ton, 8 ounces, or 3 tons? Well, automatically I can take out the tons, because a picnic basket doesn't even weigh anything close to an elephant. So do you think a picnic basket is 3 pounds, or do you think it's about 8 ounces? 8 ounces is pretty small. That's the size of like a cup of water. So if you have anything in that picnic basket, it probably, like, I'm assuming there's stuff in that picnic basket, like food, because you take food on a picnic. So I don't think it's 8 ounces. That's like a cup of water. That's not very heavy. But 3 pounds sounds about right to me, because if you have sandwiches in there and chips and drinks, it gets a little heavy. Okay, what about a train car? Ooh. A train car. Raise your hand if you've ever seen a train. Okay, so a train car. Do you think it's 4 tons, 10 pounds, 4 ounces, or 400 pounds? So go ahead and mark off what you don't think it is. I don't think it's 4 ounces. That's like 4 handfuls of pretzels. I can eat 4 handfuls of pretzels, so it couldn't be that. 10 pounds is way smaller than some large babies are 10 pounds. So 4 tons or 400 pounds. Well, if we think an elephant is 2 tons, what do you think? A train car. I would say a train car would be, I would say the front of a train car seems pretty heavy. It might be about 4 tons. If it's not very heavy, like the middle one, if there's nothing in it, it might be 400 pounds, but I'm leaning towards the 4 tons. Okay, what about a book? 1 pound, 1 ounce, 1 ton, 5 ounces. I guess it depends on the book, right? But it's definitely not a ton and it's definitely not an ounce. So 5 ounces or 1 pound? I'm thinking maybe 1 pound if it's a big book. I'm thinking maybe 5 ounces if it's a little book. So this looks like kind of a bigger book, so I would guess 1 pound. But a smaller book, like a picture book, would probably be 5 ounces. Okay, I want you to do these last two on your own. Think about what would several pieces of popcorn be and what would a video camera be, and then we're going to move on. Okay, so I hope that you said several pieces of popcorn would be about 2 ounces, maybe like 2 handfuls of popcorn. And a video camera would be about maybe 1 pound. Okay, so now everybody get out a sheet of paper because you are going to work some of these problems with me. We have been doing conversions for 2 days now. So you should have the hang of the input-output table. So I want you to draw an input-output table. And today we're going to do it with weight. The cool thing is with capacity, it's the same, or with weight, it's the same thing as capacity. It's the same thing with length. All you got to do is find the rule. Once you find the rule, then it's easy to apply it to the rest of the table. So let me write down what I want you to put on there. So if 1 pound, and I'm taking all of this stuff from our star chart. So if 1 pound is 16 ounces. So if I put 1 pound, LB is the abbreviation for pound. So 1 pound is 16 ounces. How much is 2 pounds? And how much is 4 pounds? Let's figure out our rule. So when you're doing this, you're going to look and try to figure out the relationship between 1 pound and 16 ounces. So you're thinking to yourself, 1 times what equals 16? Or 1 divided by what equals 16? Well, guess what? I can't divide 1 by anything and get 16. So I know that I'm not dividing for my rule. I am multiplying. I hope that you said multiplying because 1 times what is 16? Anything times 1 is going to be itself. So what do you think it is? Write down on your paper right now what you think our rule is. I hope that you said 16. So now that I know our rule is to multiply by 16, I am going to do that for 2, and I'm going to do that for 4. So I want you to go ahead and I want you to solve this input-output table while I draw the next one. So solve it while I draw the next one. You can pause if you need to, and let's see if you get the right answers when I'm done. Okay, so I hope you went ahead and did 16 times 2. So I start with my ones place and I do 6 times 2 is 12, and 1 times 2 is 2, plus that 1 is 32 ounces. Now it's time to do 16 times 4. So 6 times 4 is 6, 12, 18, 24, and then put a 2 up here. And then 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. Give me a thumbs up if you got those. All right, good. Okay, so now let's move on to this one. If 1 ton, and again, I got this off of our chart, 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. How much is 2 tons and how much is 3 tons? So I'm thinking to myself, 1 times what equals 2,000? Or 1 divided by what equals 2,000? Well, guess what? I cannot divide anything by 1 and get 2,000. I can't. It's not possible. So I know I'm not dividing. I'm multiplying. So anything times 1 is itself. I hope that you have learned that from me by now. If you learned anything, learn this. Anything times 1 is itself. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 4 is 4. So 1 times 2,000 is what? 2,000. So I'm trying to equal 2,000, so I've got to multiply by 2,000. And I know that seems like a big number, but trust me, you're right. So now I want you to go ahead and do that rule for 2 tons and 3 tons while I draw the next problem. Okay, did y'all get your answer? Okay, so you should have done 2 times, and I use the 0 trick here. So I would write, I have 3 zeros, so I'm going to cross them off and write them over here. And then I just do 2 times 2, which is 4. Then I'm going to do the zeros trick again. I cross them off and I write them over here. And then I just do 3 times 2, which is 6. So did you get 4,000 pounds and then 6,000 pounds? Woohoo! Okay, let's move down here. Now, this one is a little harder because look, I don't have the blanks on this side. I have the blanks on this side. So let's see what we're going to do. I want you to pause the video and try to solve this. What do you, excuse me, what do you think I should do? So here's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. I know up here that I did 1 pound, 16 ounces, so I can multiply by 16. I know that from up there. So now I know it says blank, but you're going to think what times 16 equals 32. Then this one, what times 16 equals 48? Well, guess what? Dun, 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 dun. What times 16 equals 32? And what times 16 equals, well, that says 64, but 48. So I want you to try and solve these. What I would do is I would start it with 16 times 2. And then I would try 16 times 3 and see if that helps you out. Okay, so you should have unpaused by now. I hope you paused the video. If you didn't, go back, pause. This is only to help you. So 16 times 2 we found out was 32. So I know that 2 times 16 is 32. So this one is 2 pounds. And I did 16 times 3 and got 48. So I know 16 times 3 is 48. So this one is 3 pounds. Give me a thumbs up if you got the right answer. The hardest part of this is finding the rule. So once you find that rule, you can apply it to all of the other tables and alakazam, you have your answers. All right, my friends. So today for your assignment, what you're going to do is you are going to, sorry about the noise. You have 2 pages to do again, and they look exactly like they have been all week. So you're going to tell me what you would weigh, tons or pounds, all of these things, and this should not take you any time at all. because you're just telling me ounces, pounds, tons, pounds. Remember, tons is the biggest. Then we have pounds, and then we have ounces. And then on this one, there are 6 input-output tables that you need to solve. Now, I will say some of these are going to be kind of hard. Do your very best. I believe in you. All right, my loves. I want you to do your best on this. Try your hardest. That's all I ask for. And when you're done, turn it in. You should have the hang of input-output tables by now. It should be a little bit easier, I hope. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow, and we will practice some more conversions. Bye.